Real TV, the champion around this country, round the city, round the vicinity. No other TV's nice like the Real TV. They know we're the best. This is Robert Olivia and tuned to Real TV, the best, the baddest, the nicest TV. Keep that lock, keep that jiggy, keep that good. Real TV gone.
Well, thank you for joining us today. It's a glorious day wherever you are, I'm sure, because once you're able to see the day and be a part of the day, it's a good thing. I'm happy you guys were able to see the headline and join us to listen what the discussion is about and what we'll be talking about today. But it's not necessarily just bad thoughts. It's not necessarily just good thoughts, but it's an overall review of our culture, which is Jamaica, the country and the destination that a lot of people like to go to, a lot of people want to go to, a lot of people are not going to too. It's a whole mixed variety of as far as what's going on. And there's some things that needs to be addressed, there's some things that needs to be fixed, there's some things that needs to be worked on in order to continue to have a good culture, in order to continue to have a good place for people to visit, in order to continue to have a good place for everyone who's living there and want to go reside there at some point in the future. And with no further ado, let's make sure that you hit that subscribe button, make sure you hit that like button, and make sure you turn that notification bell on so that you could be updated whenever I post a video or whenever there's something new that you should be informed about. And let's get right into the video. Now, Jamaica. Let's talk a little bit about Jamaica. If you've heard on the news or if you've Googled what Jamaica is, what will Google tell you as far as Jamaica? It's going to tell you that it's a nice island, it's a country out there in the Caribbean. But with you saying what it's about, with you visiting what it's about, it's all different. It's different. So for example, if you're a tourist that's never been there before and you show up at a hotel, the resort will tell you this and that, do's and don'ts. The person who might be your tour guide might tell you their opinion of Jamaica just the same, as well as if you stop off at a location to get something to eat or drink, you'll get to know a little bit from whoever you stop and you're having a conversation with. I've seen many tourists that take it to their duty to, even when they visit the country and they want to know more about the culture, they'll try to go in those little nooks and cranny, those little areas where just a little man that might be selling a soup, it might just be a little woman that's selling some shrimp, it might just be someone who has a little local restaurant or a little local store that they can communicate with or they can buy something from to show as far as support. But there's more to Jamaica than you would see in the headlines that says a country that's of land and wood and water. There's more than just wood and water in the country. There's actually good benefits of being in Jamaica. Really good benefits. You know, the culture is good, the food is good, the vibe of the people is good, the parties are good too, going out, enjoying the music, enjoying the sunshine. The beaches are different as far as with the water is crystal clear. Honestly, you know, you could go to the beach various hours of the day, night, whatever time you choose to, and the temperature feels pretty much the same. We have a pretty, I would say, we don't get all the different climates of the year. We get an average climate, which put us outdoors most of the time throughout the year. People don't stay indoors because of we have it's too cold or it gets too hot. You know what I mean? So I think it's a pretty cool atmosphere to be in. Cool, not necessarily in the temperature, but meaning just okay. It's nice, you know. But there's a lot that get hidden under the rocks. A lot gets swept under the rugs by whoever is in charge or whoever makes decisions for the country. There's a lot that people don't see and a lot people don't hear, and there's a lot that's hidden. And sometimes these are things that are way important too, that people should know, and people should look out for the people who are trying to make the country right. You know what I mean? The people who are not the executives, the people who are just the day-to-day average people who walk the street, the man who pushes a cart to send his kids to school, the lady or the teen who might have to leave school and go help his or her mom by a stall that's trying to sell some candy in order to go to school the next day. These people are who sometimes don't get noticed. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of people who do a lot when it comes to try to make life, a lot. And there's a lot of people who might try to save to make a difference in their own life too. You know, we have a saving plan in Jamaica that's called Partner. I know it's called different different names throughout different countries, because not just Jamaicans are people who use that. There's different cultures too who use it. You know what I mean? But it's something that, for example, if you're working and you get to your average salary, you put the money aside and you bring it to a certain person who's considered as the banker. And the banker will have, let's say if it's 10 people in that partner, the banker will have a designated week for each person who is in it. And when you get your draw, as it's called, you can use that to do whatever you want. And that's a way that we grew up knowing how to save, you know what I mean? How to use our money to do different things that we might want to do. However, there's a lot of things we don't know growing up because our parents sometimes are too busy trying to hustle for us as kids. So we don't get trained how to do money managing, which is very important. We don't get trained how to try to make a better future for our kids too when they're coming up. So at the end of the day, most of the things you have to do is you have to learn it on your own. A lot of kids, they start learning how to cook because they're left alone. A lot of kids, they start learning how to babysit or how to nurture a child because they were left with their little sibling. That's how they became or become a parent, by learning already being in the age of teens. You know what I mean? And it in a sense, it's good being able to grow up and be strong. In a sense, it's good being able to grow up and know how to help yourself. But in another sense, it's something that's necessarily not just happening in Jamaica on a whole. It's something that's happening worldwide in different places, but it's not being highlighted, it's not being noticed. But what I'm trying to say at this point is, for example, there's something that has been going on for years now and it hasn't changed, and we're going to look into that today. And that is the idea of persons who are in Jamaica right now and they have families abroad in different countries, not just the United States. You could be in England, Cayman, wherever you are, other countries, trying to make better for your family at home. And you want to send or ship a certain item to your people back home in your country, because you might find a price that's more affordable, or your relative is unable to buy a certain item. So like food is pretty expensive right now. So let's say we want to ship a barrel to Jamaica, and you load up a barrel of whatever you buy and try to ship it to Jamaica. The price that you pay for that barrel to be shipped from your country is X amount of dollars. But when it goes to Jamaica, they're telling you that whatever items is in it should be at a value of $500. And that's a number that's been going on for years. I remember the first time, or roughly when the first barrel I remember going to clear, where I was in roughly my early 20s. And at that point, it was still the same amount, $500. We're now in the year of 2022. And what can you buy with $500? Let's really talk what you can buy with $500. There's some things, one item can cost more than $500. So why can't we get that number adjusted? Why can't that number be changed to $1,500, $2,000, whatever it is? But these are little things that continues to stay stagnant because whoever makes the decisions, they forget about these things. And while a person who is of not great wealth trying to go to the wharf to clear a barrel, they have to tip off everybody in order to clear a barrel. So by the time they're done tipping, whatever is in there is of less value. You know what I mean? So you have to pay someone who, you might have to give someone, squeeze someone a little extra to say, hey, you know what, don't charge me too much money for my barrel. And by right, it's not even worth it. I think it would be fair to change that number from that $500 limit and have it increased. And I know a lot of people would agree with me because the prices of items these days are way more than that. Way more than that. And that's only one thing. You know what I mean? And people want to help their family members out too in the country. And everything you try to do, as long as you're doing it from out of country, it's considered way too much. So for example, if you send someone some money to buy an item, the moment they go to collect that money, it's like, oh my gosh, you got a lot of money. And it might not be, because it can't reach all the different things you want to do. You know, you have bills. Electricity bills is above the roof. Why is it that much? Because no one is monitoring these things to make sure that the people aren't being overcharged. If you have any industry that is feeding the people or is providing a service to the people, why is it that they can't get audited? Are they being audited? Who's auditing them? Who gets the results? These information should be public so that you can see to make sure that it is correct. So for example, if you're being charged for a particular service, you want to know what you're being charged for and where the money is going and why is it that you're being charged. And if something is going to be increased, people should be noticed ahead of time. People should get proper notification that something was going to be increased and know why you're being charged more for a service. Another main thing that I think that should be done in the country for people is the telephone service that they are being provided, whether it's Digicel, whether it's Flow, whoever it is that's providing a telephone service. I think it's about time for them to cut the idea of prepaid service and provide a service where it's just one fee. Why? Because they can. They can. They can provide just one fee and everyone gets the ultimate goal of all that's required. So for example, here we have a bunch of different plans. We have plans starting at $45 a month, and it could be less too, but I'm just giving you an idea. But you have a plan that's starting at $45 a month, and $45 a month gives you unlimited talk time, unlimited text time, unlimited internet. And then you go up to $55 a month. Then you go up to $60 a month, whatever it is. And you could choose a plan that works for you. But in Jamaica, because of the fact that people have to be purchasing credit every day or every month, these companies are living off the poorer people. Living, and I do mean directly living off the people. And it's so sad that they have no one who is above to make a decision to say, hey, can you provide our people with this service? This is what we want for the people. We want the people to have a particular package that's going to get them unlimited internet, unlimited telephone calls, unlimited data, or whatever it is, and just one fee every month, and that's it. Because when you don't provide that, it means you're now making money. Every day you have to purchase a credit. And when you put that credit on, it only lasts for such amount of time. And the credit, they keep increasing taxes on it. They keep increasing. So for $100 credit, you're paying $175 for $100 credit. Or maybe $150 for $100 credit. How is that fair? How is that fair for a country who the people average? Let me look it up so I can tell you guys. So I'm not just saying and throwing words out. So what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to tell you how much. Let's try this. Minimum wage in Jamaica. I didn't even say it, and it came up already. So the minimum wage right now in Jamaica is saying between $7,000 and $9,000 a week. So if you look at it, or it could be $7,000 to $10,500 per week. How much does it cost to provide a meal per day? How much does it cost to provide electricity, water, and all the necessity you might need for a month? So even if you're making, let's put it at the maximum. If you're making $10,500 per week, that's $40,000 a month for salary. And you have to take out of that your rent if you have somewhere staying. And if you don't, you should, because the idea is you're working to be able to sustain yourself. So if you should take it out, that you're taking out rent out of that, you're taking out your expenses to transportation back and forth for work, you're taking out the electricity bill, phone bill, water bill. That's nothing. That's nothing. So at the end of the day, persons who are making the decision, $40,000 can't buy gas for the month for them. But they're making decisions for people to live off nothing. So these are reasons why you have people who are trying to do so many things in order to try to live, because the money that they're making can't can't push nothing. I remember, with all honesty, 2006 it was. My salary for the week back then would have been, let's see, 13,600 for the week, and that was 2006. We're now in 2022. That's 6 years later. That's not good. That is not good at all. We want to have persons who are leading the country, making decisions for the people, so that the people can be happy and they can be comfortable, because no one can really live off that. I saw someone posted a video that they purchased a chicken for 1,400, 4 pounds of rice for $400, 2 packs of curry, and what else was in there, and a bit of butter for $2,000 and odd dollars. So that means out of $10,000, if you take out $2,000 for one night's dinner, you still have $8,000 left, and there's still 6 days left in the week. So I know for a fact that that's not cutting it. At some point, we ought to look at what's right, and we ought to look at what really makes sense. And in my opinion, I had decided to make this video today because I feel like I'm seeing things from afar that's not fair for the people. And things will not get better unless we make a change, unless we make a difference. And when I say make a change, change is not only has to do with who you put in parliament or who's running the country. Whoever decides to take the job has to know that the people are who you need to look out for. Because if I'm going to take up the responsibility of running an organization, it means that I decide to run this organization. And if I'm going to run the organization, it means that I should look out for the people who are below me. I should look out for the people who are coming into work. I should look out for the people who I employ to make sure that they're comfortable. When you have a comfortable employee, you get the best out of them. When you have someone who will try to go to work because they know that Friday, when they get their paycheck, they're going to be comfortable with what's going in the bank, they will try to make decisions for you too. I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday who, he's a security guard. And he was telling me that one day he was at work and his boss was standing outside, and someone pull up on his boss and try to say, hey, I need a direction to go somewhere. And he said, in his opinion, by observing, he didn't like how the guy looked. You know what I mean? He thought that it could be someone that could be mischievous. So he went out right away and he says, hey, how can I help you? You know what I mean? Let me give you the direction as far as what you need and how can I help you? Because he didn't want to put his boss in an uncomfortable situation. And he did that. Why you think he did that? He did that because the person who he sees might be in a situation is someone who is looking out for him. So now, on the other hand, he want to look out for that person. So in the same breath and in the same energy, we all the time try to find people who we think will make decisions for us. That's why we, if there's a spot opening and you sign up to get that spot, they will tell, okay, so we're gonna have a meeting and we're gonna make a decision to vote on you. And when the decision is made to vote, half the time people will think, oh, they're trying to make a decision because it's their friend. But that should not be. You should make a decision based on the person who you think is capable to do that job, who you think is able to do that job, who you think would provide the best results for you, the person who you think will be looking out for you in the end, not just someone who's going to stab you in the back the moment they get that position, because that doesn't work. And this is not a joke. When you're in charge and when you're making decisions for people, you're making decisions also for people's life. People's life are in jeopardy whenever whoever is in control. That's how control is. It's not a joke. So we all need to bear the responsibility of what we do and what we say and where we go. So as I say, I think that some adjustments can be made, and we want to have Mr. Prime Minister Andrew Holness. We see that there's some space for opportunity where it comes to the people. I know it might be hard. I know it might be ticklish. I know it might be challenging, for sure, because it's not an easy job, honestly. I know that I couldn't be the Prime Minister for any country, not because I'm not capable, but I know it requires a lot. But sometimes what I know they do is like they have a ballot, or they have, you know what I mean, let's try to make changes here, let's try to make changes here, and then people vote on it. And the moment you have enough people voting, it means that there's enough people that agrees with the decision to be made, and then that decision gets made. So in the same way, you know what I mean, I see Jamaica trying to go so far ahead with a lot of things. You know what I mean? Jamaica is one of the leading Caribbean countries when it comes to a lot of things, but we can also lead when it comes to our people. You know, we can also lead when it comes to decisions for our people as well. And I know for a fact that there's a lot of people who are visiting Jamaica. There's a lot of people who are pumping in money in Jamaica too. But where is it going? We want to make sure that it's going in the right directions for the people. And the people need it. The people need it because they have so many that they want to accomplish. And Jamaica is such a hard-working, dedicated people that's in society. Anywhere you go, you'll find Jamaicans. Anywhere all over the world. Trust me. I flew to California back in 2013, and when I was there, I met this guy walking in an area that's called Venice Beach. And when I saw this guy from my village, he walked up to me. Hey, want to buy a CD? But I just did like this. I just stood up and looked at him like this, and he's like, oh my gosh, hey, what's going on, man? Couldn't believe it. Yeah, but that's someone out there trying to make a decision for his family. So he's hustling, trying to make that money. That's what it's all about. So at the end of the day, anywhere we go, we're going to pump it in. And anywhere we go, we're going to try to make decisions to bring someone over to say, hey, come, you're my bro. I'm going to look out for you. You know what I mean? You're my cousin. Come here, I got a job. I know this person that they need someone. Boom. That's what it is. It's all about that everywhere. If you go to Alaska, you'll find a Jamaican up in there. You go to Europe, the end, anywhere, the North Pole. Trust me, anywhere you go, you'll find a Jamaican. And even if you don't believe it, just try it. And you leave from your community in Jamaica and go to another community at the other point of the island, you're going to see someone you know. Because that's what we do. We hustle, we travel, we move, we try to make decisions to make our family happy. And all I'm saying is I think some adjustments need to be made on some decisions that were made from maybe like 30, 40 years ago. We are upgrading with the time. Let's upgrade so our people can also be happy. We have kids that are going to school and they need the internet. Why do we have to have them be buying credit 4 or 5 times a week when they can get one monthly service that provide the same service but just at a cost that's affordable for the people? And JPS shouldn't be allowed to just raise electricity when they feel like, but more so when it's needed and also when it's necessary, when it's for the people, not just for themselves. And if they're charging, someone needs to be holding them accountable to make sure that they're making decisions that are right and fair for the people. And it's about time we have water everywhere to make sure people are having water so that they can take a shower. Water is the source of life. If you look up, like I said, you Google Jamaica, the first thing is going to pop up. It says a land of wood and water. And there's places that they ain't have none. How come? I see something going on when it comes to the bauxite and fishes dying and so on. That's going to be another topic, but that's also something that needs to be looked at. We should have people down there that are looking at things like that to make sure we're not destroying the country, because the moment we do, we ain't got nothing left. You have to take care of what you have. So that was my 2 cents today. I really do appreciate everyone that take the time out to watch this video. I really appreciate those who take the time out to share this video. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to make sure you're in tune to what's going on and what's next and what is popping every time we share a video. You should be informed, you should be on tuned, and you should be ready. And you can only be ready if you're a part of the team. So you hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next video. Cheers.